Hi, Chris here. I'm down in New Zealand, not shooting in my typical location. And in this video, I'm going to be taking a look at two products from EZVIZ. It is their DB2 Pro. It's a 2K wireless battery-powered security doorbell camera. And then the BC1C, which is a 1080p wireless battery-powered security camera. So this is a sponsored video from me. I will be just going over the unboxing. I'll show you the application, the design of the products, and sample footage. So first up, taking a look at the Doorbell 2 Pro. We have the main unit right here, and I'll go through the installation of this, which is very easy to set up. So it can be simply just stick on. It does have a double-sided adhesive that you can see that's included in the box. And then there are the mounting plates. So we've got a few of those to set up different angles for how you want it to be mounted, or you can simply just mount it on flush there. Now you see that we do have here a micro USB cable. This is for charging it up, and the battery life is 115 days. They include some screws, and we do have some cables and other things inside the box. This is so you're able to, in fact, use your existing doorbell. If you wanted to wire it up, you can run it then through the EZVIZ Doorbell 2 Pro. The Doorbell 2 Pro has this, which is the Wi-Fi charm. So here is the speaker. You can adjust the volume of this through the application and the melodies, status LED, two wireless antennas, and it simply plugs into your wall socket. So this will be dependent on the region, of course, you buy it from. Here is our micro SD card slot. Reset button is there on the side. And the other wireless security camera, this one is the eLife 1080p made out of plastics. Right there we have a little microphone. Down the bottom, a speaker, power on button, and to reset it. This is where it is mounted. And then up front, we do have our sensor right there, ambient light sensor. So that's for this bottom one, motion detection, two LEDs, and then a 1080p camera. The build quality is very good with this. And the battery life is 210 days. But I do have the solar panel that I'll be using with this, so you can keep running it. Also included in the box with that camera, we do have a power supply to charge it, USB cable to micro USB, some screws. There is a mounting guide, our mount, and then a quick start guide. And if you don't want to have to worry about charging the camera after 210 days, you can get this optional solar panel. Now this has an IP65 rating. The maximum output is 6.18 watts, 4-meter cable, and this is the stand that is included for it. Now to find an ideal spot to install the camera. So it's wireless, of course, I can really put it anywhere. All I do need is just to make sure that it's going to be within the wireless range of the router here at the household where I'm installing this at down here in New Zealand. So I'm thinking of placing it here on the fence, and that way I'm going to get a good view of the front door and the garage and a little bit of the street here. So up from about this angle here, we're going to be able to see a lot with it. Then the DB2 Pro doorbell, I will be installing that on the front door, which is the best location for it. One ideal location for this camera would be under the roof. This way it's not going to be subjected to rain and weather, and the lens won't get as dirty as quick. But with this one, I'm going to mount it on the fence. So I have the mounting brace already on, the bracket there screwed into this wood here. I just used a shorter screw, so I didn't use the one supplied, but you can do that. And then the camera, I just need to simply screw it on now. And typical New Zealand, it is raining, but this is not a problem for this camera. It can be out in the rain. Not an issue. Now the DB2 2K security doorbell, that's going to be mounted just below the knocker right here where the previous system was installed. So there are some holes here. I'm going to be using one or two of those, and with the template I'll get that mounted and install the bracket. That's mounted now, and you would notice if you've got a keen eye that it is slightly off-centered. That is because I'm trying to cover up those existing holes behind the mounting plate. So it locks on, it sits flush, and does look really good on the front door here. Moving over now to have a look at some sample footage. So what we're listening to is the built-in microphone. It does have a loudspeaker, so you can have two-way conversations. 1080p resolution. How does it fare in low light? Let's take a look at that now. Since it has those two powerful LED lights, it does a good job of capturing the footage here. You can see quite clearly, And although the sun hasn't completely set, it is almost 9:30, so it is looking quite good here for low light performance. And the doorbell in daylight. And you can see when I move back here, it's doing an okay job of capturing me. Now the one that they previously had installed in this household, the whole background was completely blown out. Now the 2K resolution is helping, it's making it a little bit more detailed. And again, we have a very wide angle here. This entrance is quite dark around this area, but overall it's capturing me not too bad here. But again, let's take a look at what it's like in low light. And then the night vision mode, this is what you can expect quality-wise. I've got those glowing eyes because it's using infrared, but you can clearly see that there is a person approaching your front door, and it will record that footage, which is what we want. The application, this is called EZVIZ. You can get it from iOS or the App Store. So when you go into it, the first menu is this right here that it will come up with. And you can see then the cameras that you have added. I've got two. That's the B1C one, and then the DB2 that I've got, which is the doorbell camera. Now, each of the cameras do have their own individual settings. You're able to go into them. You can see the live preview, the notifications that come through, battery life, and of course, customize lots of different things that I will not be going through each and every option we do have. You can see battery life, light settings, security settings, the network it's already connected up to. You get firmware updates, and you can also set it up to be recorded if you wanted to onto cloud storage, meaning it's off-site. It's not local storage, it's going to be saved. So if someone was to steal the camera, you would still have the footage of that saved onto the cloud. Now in the library here, this is where you will see all of the recorded clips. So when it is triggered, the alarm, it will then record a short clip. Now I didn't set it to human only mode, and that's because I wanted to see what the neighbors' cats were up to. And you can even see here, there is a cat that at 3:30 in the morning was out and about, and the camera did pick up a short clip of that. So it's connecting up to it now, and this is the onboard storage, so 32 gigabytes of storage, and it recorded this clip here. When it was raining, that cat was not too fast and was out walking about, and you can see the timeline here. So it's straightforward, and you do get notifications that come through to your phone. The same goes with the doorbell, that if someone was to ring it, it will then notify you on your phone. You can then see what is going on. And of course, right here, I can go into the cameras, and you can even take a look at the live preview. When you're looking at it, take a photo, record, and even talk to someone if they're there because of the two-way communication, the microphone and the speaker that I showed you it has. So it's a straightforward, simple app, but very easy to use. So that was the BC1C, the 1080p security camera, which I have right here in the corner. So easy to set up because they don't require any cables or anything, and they just run off batteries. And then the doorbell, which is the DB2 Pro with the 2K resolution. Slightly sharper footage than this one here that I have set up. So the application makes it easy as well to see the notifications. It's a very straightforward app. You can then download any of the alerts, you get the videos that it has recorded, and you can also set it up, of course, to record just humans. So it's not going to be recording, for example, a cat passing by or some dogs or leaves blowing around in the wind there. The other thing that I do like with these particular cameras is that the night footage doesn't seem to be too bad. It's quite clear, and you do get the LED lights with these ones here. So thank you so much for watching my video here on the EZVIZ, the DB2 Pro, that's the doorbell camera, security camera, and then the BC1C 1080p camera.